Welcome, my fellow Serolians. In today's episode of Riley in the Kitchen, I'm going to be making egg fried rice. Without further ado, let's get cooking. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 20 milliliters of cooking oil. You can use any cooking oil with a high smoking point. I'm using rapeseed oil, but you can use anything like peanut oil or sunflower oil, whatever is your fancy, as long as it's not something like olive oil. So the next step we're going to do is crank up the heat on the wok until it gets extremely hot. You want to get it to a point where the wok is starting to smoke over. And as you can see, it's starting to really smoke over. I'm just going to leave it a little bit longer. Now I'm going to add the onions. So I'm using half a onion diced. And I'm just going to stir it through. I'm just not going to allow it to brown too much, just to saute a little bit. And then I'm going to add the scrambled egg. So this recipe calls for 1 egg scrambled. Just going to scramble it in. And before it completely cooks through, I'm going to add the rice. So this is 250 grams of cooked rice, jasmine rice. That is Thai Mali jasmine rice. That's my favorite jasmine rice. Absolutely delicious, very fragrant, and just delicious. And the next step is to add the dry ingredients. So I'm using 1 teaspoon of Chinese 5 spice, 1 teaspoon of Japanese 7 spice. I'm also using MSG. This is optional, you don't have to use it, but I'm using 1 teaspoon of that, half a teaspoon of salt, and as much cracked black pepper as you like. I love cracked black pepper, so I can never get enough of that. So you add all that in and stir it through. And then we're going to add the fish sauce. So 1 teaspoon of fish sauce. Be very careful with the fish sauce because this is very potent and it has a lot of umami flavor. So if you're not using the MSG, definitely I would call for the fish sauce for sure. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce and continue to stir that through. And you really want to just break up the egg pieces to make sure it's not too clumpy. We're going to add 30 grams of edamame beans. You don't have to use edamame beans. You can use peas, or you don't even have to put any vegetables in there if you don't want to. But I'm adding that in, and also 10 grams of butter. That's also optional, but I feel like it gives it a nice rich flavor. And we're just going to stir that all through. And then finally, last but not least, when we feel like we are ready, we're going to add the spring onion. So this is 2 sprigs of spring onion diced. And there we go. Stir that in a little bit longer. And there you have it. Beautiful, delicious egg fried rice. Bon appetit.